Welcome to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
A simple warning. We know many of you are planning a wedding right now. We may be tempted to drop an F-bomb or other descriptive words. Keep this in mind if you have small children in the room or are on a Zoom call. You've been warned.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
Let's be honest, planning a wedding is tricky. And at Be Engaged and Inspired, we'll share our knowledge to help you navigate these tricky waters and leaving you feeling inspired.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast is sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. And now your hosts, Kia and DJ Sam.
Welcome to the Be Engaged and Inspired the Wedding Podcast, your escape from the mundane podcasts. This is DJ Sam with my host, who's looking very lovely today.
Very nice, Sam. It's not going to get you anywhere. I'm Kia from Engaged, Connecticut. We have a beautiful guest with us, but before we get started with her, Sam, it's Wednesday.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No,
I'm not the beautiful one. Apparently not.
From your parents, your wife, not you.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is available on the Be Engaged and Inspired Facebook group page every Wednesday. Join that group for free.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is brought to you by Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge? A new line of luxurious lipsticks and lip glosses created with the intention of empowerment and coming into who you truly are. Strong, beautiful, and confident. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Emerge as the true you.
Hey, Sam, when it comes to finding the right professional vendor, it can seem overwhelming to know where to start.
It can, Kia, unless you use EasyEventPlanning.com, because they'll find perfect vendors for your event within your budget and deliver them right to your inbox. You can search through over 28 categories of party and wedding services. Get the details you need to narrow down your choices quickly with their category-specific profiles. Chat with vendors via text, audio, or video from any device.
EasyEventPlanning.com will make planning your wedding or event easy, from their extensive vendor directory to their free tips on favors, decorations, themes, and more. Contact them today at EasyEventPlanning.com.
Help us out. Make a donation now to help support this podcast. Please go to our anchor.fm profile, click Support This Podcast at the top of the page, or use the link in the show notes of this episode, or go to the Atmosphere Productions business profile on Venmo. Thank you for making a donation and helping support this podcast.
You're listening to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
Now syndicated on the Wedding Talk channel on YouShook.com radio network, America's radio station.
Today's Wedding Tip Wednesday is a very appropriate one. Find a professional photographer. Notice I said professional.
But my sister's best friend's neighbor's dog is a great photographer.
Or a friend of the friend of the friend. Get recommendations from your venue and other reputable vendors who work with professional photographers all the time. They will give you an honest recommendation. Then do your own research. After all, you only get one chance to have your wedding pictures taken. Have them taken by a professional.
I agree with all of your statements.
You have nothing to add to that?
I have absolutely nothing. Because
That's
I
it.
once
That's
had
it.
a
Good night.
couple.
See ya. Bye.
Nope. I'm going to say I had a couple who did not check all of their references, and they ended up having to go to Sears to have a better portrait done.
Those sort of stories we don't want to hear. Don't forget to use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That coupon code again is EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Emerge as the true you.
Thanks, Sam. Okay, so we have a guest in the studio.
Yippee!
She's been here before. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thanks for having me back. My name is Christina Wesley. I am a boudoir photographer in Connecticut, based in Hartford. And you can find me on Instagram at LFBoudoir, BOUDOIR. Same thing on TikTok. It's just starting off there. And just forget about Facebook. You might as well just go to the Instagram.
So when you were here before, we talked about what boudoir was. Can you give us a really quick rundown? Because then we're going to sort of explain to everybody how this can sort of merge into weddings and all of these things that you should be considering if this is what you're wanting to do.
Sure, yeah. Boudoir photography is just, intimate portraits meant for yourself or someone special in your life to share that with. And It's meant for connection, confidence boosting. It's just a really great, special experience.
So one of the things I think about, because obviously being a wedding planner, and I know how stressful an entire year of wedding planning can be, and I know a lot of times a lot of brides and people are sort of very self-judgy. Mm-hmm. Because you're in this process of trying on dresses, you're having hair and makeup done, you might have a workout thing happening, you're going to food tasting, cake tastings, and I think sometimes in a wedding planning process, people get stressed and sort of forget a little bit about themselves. It's like a little bit of self-love if they
For sure.
created a session with you. I think it can like really boost them and sort of put them back into this great mindset of like, I am beautiful. I am going to look beautiful in my dress. I am beautiful no matter what I'm wearing, type of thing.
It's so true. And, the biggest thing I hear from women when they find out what I do is, when I get my confidence up, I'll do something like that. I'm like, you don't understand. It's actually the opposite. Your confidence is boosted from the experience. It's actually boosted even from booking something like this for yourself, because you're right. You do so much for everybody else.
Yeah. You're doing it for yourself now.
Yeah, you're doing something for yourself now. You're investing in how you feel about your body, and it trickles out into all the different parts of your life, and you don't even know it's about to hit you. I wrote a blog post on this. Actually, the first one was "Fuck it, I booked a boudoir session," and the second one was the side effects of booking a boudoir session, because I didn't realize even for myself what it felt like. My clients told me what it felt like, but I said to my husband at the beginning of 2020, which was kind of a joke. We had no idea.
Nobody knew what was happening.
Yeah, but I was like, this is the year I'm going to get in front of the camera more. I got to get out of my comfort zone, because really, most people are uncomfortable in front of a camera. I, for one, feel much more comfortable behind one.
Yeah, which makes sense, but still.
Yeah, so,
But you also understand the value of a photo.
Right.
So that's...
yeah, don't even get me started there. But the experience of it all is something I really did not expect. I mean, just booking yourself a session gets you, something switches in your mind. And you really start to pay attention to what you're putting in your body and how you feel, and subconsciously doing all these things to get ready to be in front of a camera, pretty much nude.
You're starting to, you're basically starting to maybe put a little self-care. I think we spend so much time, especially during wedding planning. You've got a binder and you have to go here and you have to listen to what your future mother-in-law wants and what your mother wants and then what your sister thought about this. Or, I've been at dress sessions. I've been at Julie Allen Bridals on some of their crazy days during off season. And I've watched people walk out feeling absolutely gorgeous. And all of the salespeople can see that this person is in love with this dress. And you can very quickly find the sister, the best friend, the aunt, who says the one thing, and it just deflates that entire experience. I would say you have to do boudoir and then go dress shopping. That's just
Yeah, because, also with iPhones, it's really hard to feel good about the way you look. People are snapping photos of you and you don't even realize it, and they're like, from a lower angle, they're like shooting up on your chin. iPhones just don't take photos the way that you see things. You can take a selfie 25 times in only one photo. So it's important that you really let somebody who is a boudoir photographer photograph you and know what they're doing and know the angles and know which lenses to use, because this is an experience that can either make or break your confidence.
This is all back to that whole hire a professional.
That was the best tip I've ever heard for it. You don't hire a baby photographer to photograph your wedding. You wouldn't hire a baby photographer to photograph you half nude,
Unless it's like you swaddled up in a basket asleep.
Boudoir photography is not all about the picture of the lady or the guy, because guys can do it.
Or couples.
It's also It's also the background. It's also what you see in the background of the picture all enhance that atmosphere in that picture. Isn't that right?
The context definitely matters. I mean, I keep my studio very neutral and soft, and like I said on the last episode I was here, I think that there's a very large spectrum of what boudoir can look like, and it could be really dark and erotic, or it can be very soft and sensual. And personally, I like a timeless kind of photo. I'm not big on themes. If someone comes and they want a theme, I'll do it, but I want these photos to be something you look back on when you're 85 and feel proud of it. It still is relevant, the style of it, and I keep everything very neutral and simple, undistracting.
Good. Even though the process isn't necessarily simple, you're making them feel like it's a natural thing, it's an easy thing to do. You're giving them some guidance, things like that, which make a big difference.
But the thing is also, it's not about you can shop and chop and chop and chop for the perfect thing. And I do suggest that you go shopping for something like this, because the lingerie you had in your top drawer 10 years ago isn't going to fit you the same way.
Yeah.
No.
I'm also giving you an excuse to go shopping for yourself. So take it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Try on those pretty little things. Spend the money on yourself. It's all part of the experience. But then I also have clients who call me from Victoria's Secret, I hate everything. I don't like anything here. And I'm like, listen, come with a white sheet and I will make a whole shoot out of just you in a white sheet. It is not about what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's about the connection.
So are there any set shots that you take, or it really is just inspired by what they're wearing?
It's exactly inspired by what they're wearing, who they are, how I've observed them as we're getting ready together. I watch my clients. I watch their body language, and this session is all about them. I do have them fill out a questionnaire ahead of time so that I can get to know who they are and what they're going through. And some people, it cracks me up because they're like, this feels like a therapy session. Because I ask, what are your goals for this year? What was your least favorite part of last year? I want to know who they are.
As a wedding planner, we tend to be therapists as well.
Yeah, and this is an experience that's very vulnerable. It leaves you feeling very vulnerable. People tell me things that they would only tell their best friend, and maybe not even their best friend. I mean,
but this is why I think it's key, especially in a year, because most couples take about a year to plan a wedding. I think it's really key to take that time for yourself. But you're producing a gift that you can give your future significant other.
That's right.
And you sort of make them, what are the types of gifts that they can, how can they pass this along?
So the main thing included in my collection is an album. And all my collections are based on how many photos you put into your album. I do have an option for just, a larger gallery of photos, and then you pick your favorite 20 to 30 to be in the album. But I just feel like these are not the kinds of pictures you frame and put around your house. There is also an option for a photo print box. So it's a small glass box, and it holds, a set of 5x7 prints. I also have another print box that's much more elaborate, and it's quite a presentation, but there's 15 matted prints that you could pop into a picture frame. So it's good for all sorts of kinds of photography sessions, but it's a beautiful presentation. I just feel like print is very important, and just having your photos on a thumb drive and swiping through them on your phone is not going to give you the same feeling about your experience. It is something that I will provide the digital versions, but not without print first.
Okay, I like that. So we're going to go to a commercial break, and then we'll be back and we'll talk about some of these print versions and other things.
Each week, the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast posts a new episode sharing wedding tips, knowledge, and speaking with wedding experts, all as a chance to help you navigate your way through planning your own wedding. Have a topic you want us to cover? Want to send us a message? Email us at engagedct@gmail.com, go to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast Facebook group page, or on anchor.fm and select message. Your message will be recorded and may be aired on a future episode.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast will be right back.
Destination Weddings Unlimited is your destination wedding and honeymoon specialist worldwide. Call us at 844-666-6872. Online at destinationweddingsunlimited.com. Allow us to take the stress and time off your plate so you can have an amazing experience. We're able to walk you through the process and handle all the travel and coordination needs. Destination Weddings Unlimited, online at destinationweddingsunlimited.com.
Dollar Tree is the nation's #1 destination for value shopping. All of their stores are well lit and crammed with all kinds of hidden treasures. Dollar Tree offers a plethora of merchandise that includes many national and regionally trusted brands. It doesn't matter if you're looking for housewares, dinnerware, candy, snacks, stationery, or holiday needs. You're going to find it at Dollar Tree. You can shop at your hometown store or shop online for exclusive offers, manufacturer closeouts, watch videos, and join their Value Seekers Club. On top of all that, you can have your order shipped for free directly to your local store. To visit DollarTree.com, click on the link in the show notes to let them know we sent you. Doing so helps keep our podcast going. Dollar Tree.
Welcome to the Inn at Mount Pleasant. Contact us at theinnatmountpleasant.com. Located in the hills of Torrington, our classic New England bed and breakfast and historic barn is the perfect location for your personalized wedding weekend. Contact us at theinnatmountpleasant.com.
Hey, Aaron Miller here from Aaron Miller Photography.
I'm Michelle from Destination Weddings Unlimited.
This is Marty Q.
I'm Donna from Creative Cakes by Donna, and I listen every week.
You should tell an engaged friend.
And I always listen to DJ Sam and Kia
on the Be Engaged and Inspired podcast. Jeff Ladd here from Tire Biter and Jeff Ladd DJ Plus.
This is Christina Wesley from La Femme Boudoir Photography.
Tell an engaged friend or somebody planning an event.
I'm Lauren Simpson from LA Page Makeup, and I listen every week for the great tips and suggestions.
You should tell an engaged friend.
Every single Wednesday. And you know what? It's free.
Free
on iTunes and Google Podcasts. I suggest you listen to.
You should listen to
Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge?
I love this lipstick. I'm super picky about how a lipstick feels. Most are either too dry feeling or feel like you've oiled your lips. This not only felt great, but lasted and looked great hours later. The color Angelina is perfection, a must-have in my collection.
This is Lauren Simpson from Emerge Cosmetics, a professional makeup artist with over a decade of experience in the beauty industry. That's the reaction we're getting from our new line of carefully curated lip products that wear well and feel comfortable. These are a must-have for your collection. All products are made in the USA, cruelty-free, gluten-free, and most are vegan. Shop emergecosmetics.com for lipsticks and lip glosses that not only feel great, but last for hours in an array of different colors. Free shipping on orders over $100. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Emerge as the true you.
Honey Fund, the world's #1 wedding registry. Honey Fund helps real couples realize their wedding and honeymoon dreams. Honey Fund's #1 online wedding gift registry makes it easy to give and receive the perfect wedding gift, one that reflects the couple's unique style and makes giving fun for the wedding guest. As the world's most popular crowdfunding site for weddings, honeymoons, and more, Honey Fund has helped hundreds of thousands of couples make their wedding dreams come true with an easy-to-use funding platform. Honey Fund, a gift card wedding registry that's as flexible as cash. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast link in the show notes or visit atmosphere-productions.com. Select the podcast link and click on the Honey Fund banner. That's atmosphere-productions.com. Select the podcast link and click on the Honey Fund banner.
This is Christina Wesley from La Femme Boudoir Photography, lfboudoir.com. Boudoir photography that is bold and soft, exciting and subtle, adventurous and modest. lfboudoir.com. We can customize and make your boudoir portrait experience unique and true to you. Call me, Christina Wesley from La Femme Boudoir Photography, 860-251-9010, or visit my website, lfboudoir.com. That's lfboudoir.com.
Atmosphere Productions, professional disc jockeys.
Live musicians, custom lighting and photo booth.
When your wedding entertainment has to have the amazing music be fun, organized, and unforgettable, your choice has to be Atmosphere Production. Experience the difference. www.atmosphere-productions.com. That's www.atmosphere-productions.com.
DJs, live musicians, custom lighting and photo booth.
Atmosphere Productions, professional disc jockeys.
Meadowbrook Estates and Mansion is located in Marlborough, Connecticut, perfectly situated between New York City and Boston. Our one-of-a-kind 10,500 square foot venue offers lodging for up to 30 guests and a stunning ballroom for intimate weddings. Looking to host a larger event? We have a gorgeous outside setting right next to our heated pool and small rambling brook. Contact us at Engage Connecticut for more details.
Hi, America. Looking for a one-stop entertainment website that the whole family can enjoy? How about shows like these? Producer Andy's Rock Countdown. Wow Wilson, featuring music and jokes like you've never ever heard before. Our latest addition to the Ushuk family is the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast with DJ Sam and Kia. Are you planning a vacation? Well, you gotta check out Terry Mansfield's group Travel Voice. And for all you country rockers, there's DJ Mark Style, giving you all the hits from yesterday. Oh, you can even join me, DJ Pauly, my show with lots of unique music and comedy. See, there's something for everyone on America's station, Ushook.com.
Coming up next week on the Be Engaged and Inspired podcast, one of my favorite topics, Sam.
Hate it, hate it, hate it. Forums, wedding forums. We're going to delve right into that subject again.
Yay. Right here on the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast.
Now back to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast, sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. With your hosts, Kia and DJ Sam.
Welcome back to Be Engaged and Inspired. I'm still here with Sam and our beautiful boudoir, so I can't even say it, photographer. But before we get into all this excitement, Sam?
I got to tell you about the official new bride name change kit. It's a complete name change kit for new brides and same-sex couples, containing instructions, checklists, all government forms for you to complete, plus labels for your envelopes, and it's customized to your state's and local jurisdiction. That makes it so much easier. Everything you need, just open the pretty pink box and get ready to go from go from Miss to Mrs. I got messed up there.
You did.
And Mr. to Mr. without the hassle. The official new bride name change kit. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast link in the show notes of this episode, or visit atmosphere-productions.com, select the podcast link, and click on the namechangekit.com banner. Clicking the link doesn't cost you a penny, but your purchase will help compensate us and keep this podcast alive.
Okay, so before we go back into what you can order and print-wise, once again, just share how people can find you.
I am on Instagram mostly. LF Boudoir, Boudoir is my handle. Same thing on TikTok, and that's pretty much where I stay.
Okay. So I love the idea that you're saying when you get your photos, you provide print first.
Absolutely.
I think part of the thing that people don't think about, and I notice this a lot, what my computer sees and what Sam's computer sees and what your phone sees, all of that is different.
And what your eyes see.
Yeah. It's just they're the different colors. You don't know if you've got a blue light feature on or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think seeing something in print just has a much more meaningful moment and
holding it, feeling it. I mean,
it also probably brings you back to that day.
It does. It's a sentimental thing, and at one point this could, the internet could go down and your phone can get lost, and housing your photos in just one place or, even multiple places, you could lose them so easily. Having that print is going to make it feel so much more special.
So now, if you're getting married and you want to give this to your significant other, about how long in advance should you think about this? How should you plan this? And then, how does, delivery and things like that work?
So I usually suggest about 4 to 6 weeks between shoot date and when you need your album by. That being said, I have done it a lot more quickly, but I have some people who hire me and they shoot the next week, and I am a huge fan of spontaneity. That's just how I live my life.
Sometimes though, but also sometimes it allows you not to have time to say, I'm not going to go do it.
Oh yeah. Oh, there are all sorts of things that creep into your mind a couple days before your session. You're like, how do I get out of this?
I'm sure you've heard lots of excuses too.
Oh, and that's part of the reason why I had to do it myself and hire someone and be photographed. I wanted to feel all the feels. I wanted to see what all the things that came up, all the insecurities and all the things that were going to make me nervous. there's, people who hire me and I photograph them the next week. And then there's people who plan and plan and plan and plan. And honestly, I feel like the more you anticipate it and plan for it, the more nervous you can get.
Agreed 100%.
Yeah.
Sam knows this because I've mentioned this before. Engage Connecticut, we typically have a gala every single year. My staff hates me because I buy my dress on the way to the gala because I don't have enough time to, I obviously I have to buy something.
Yeah.
So then I say, chuck whatever, everything out of the window, and I just okay, do I feel comfortable? Can I sit in this? Can I move in this?
Yeah.
And I know, there's people right now cringing, but I know myself personally that if I bought a dress 2 months prior, I would, every day I walk past that dress, I would find something wrong with it 100%. Or why it didn't work or something like that. So.
Oh, yeah, same.
So.
And then there's part of me that actually, I do suggest that you give yourself a little bit of a window to prepare for it because of, what I said before, the side effects of booking a boudoir session are real. I, for the longest time was trying to figure out how to get my ass back in the gym. I work all day long. I get home from work.
And you have children?
I have small kids, they demand all my attention. So how the heck am I going to get to the gym?
Right.
When do I have time? I don't work out at home. There's too much to do there. So as soon as I booked my boudoir session, in came 6:30 in the morning gym classes, and it wasn't even something I had to talk myself into. It just happened. I felt so good, getting back into it and just moving my body more. So it's interesting what happens and how you plan for your session. So giving yourself a little bit of a window to get excited, you just feel empowered by making the decision to book it for yourself. It's an interesting thing. You have to know for yourself.
I think Sam should have to book one.
Well, since we're going to go there, men.
Yeah.
What's it like to have men doing boudoir?
Well, the first male I ever photographed, it was, I think I was just as nervous as he was. Because, I photographed men in more of a wedding capacity, like grooms and seniors and stuff like that. I never had a guy taking his clothes off in front of my camera before. So, knowing how to pose them versus a woman, it's complete opposite. You're photographing up on them to it's just a different perspective. So I think, once they realize that I'm looking at the light and all the, the composition and getting excited by the connection that they're finally giving my camera, they start to realize that I'm not looking at their body parts.
Right.
I'm just doing what a photographer does. We get excited by light.
Yep.
It's just a thing.
Well, because it's an art form.
Right. So, my husband was like, well, hey, this is different. You're photographing men now. And I'm like, well, this guy's just working on his Calvin Klein underwear portfolio. And this guy wants to do it for his wife. How sweet is that?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
I'm a professional. Leave me alone.
Have you convinced your husband to do one for you yet?
Oh, I'm still working on him.
Okay. But hey, everybody take their time.
I'll get him one day. Yeah.
It doesn't take much for me to take my clothes off, so my wife's not going to get one.
Maybe not, but...
Well, there's a lot of women who really want to do couple sessions.
Yes,
and
I'll
convincing their guy to do it is a whole different ball game. But I have done quite a few couple sessions lately, and I have to say they are my favorite.
Yeah.
And what a way to, celebrate your engagement, and you're about to get married, and I just think it's so special.
Or your first year anniversary, 5th year anniversary.
First year anniversary is paper anyway, so if you get them printed, there you go.
Absolutely.
You just gifted each other.
And hey, isn't the third one leather? So, leather covered book.
There you go.
There's always an excuse.
There's always an excuse.
Yeah.
It gets a little harder as you go on because, I'm assuming you have gold and silver or platinum covered.
If you want to complete your album in gold.
Okay, we can do that. But it's special. But the other thing is, once again, I think sometimes when you're planning a wedding, I hear this a lot from couples. We're not on the same page. We're disconnected. Mm-hmm. My mom said this and his mom said that. And this is a great way to bring your guys back together and really refocus on the two of you and maybe remind yourself that yes, all of these things that we do have to do to plan a wedding, because it is a process. This is a chance to sort of have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
And it's not a fun thing where you're saying did you call the DJ? Or the limo service now says it's going to cost us, an extra $500. You're not
Yeah.
You're doing something together where you're not actually going to have a chance to talk about your wedding.
True. And being photographed is like exercising a muscle. It really is. The more you put yourself in front of a camera, the more comfortable you get in front of a camera. So having that engagement session, whatever it might be, I don't care if you're frolicking through the meadow together or if you're in my studio half naked. It's just, it's an experience that you should have together before your wedding day, because you want your wedding pictures to look amazing and you want to be able to be comfortable in front of the camera.
And that's one of the reasons why we always say this: trust your professionals, have your engagement session, because you will find out really quickly what pose does not work for you, or like what you're doing and you're just like, I don't like how that looks. Like it's not how I see myself.
It's always more important to find out what you don't like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Early on, before the day.
Yep. That's why I like when I have couples who say like, I'm going to a wedding. I was like, great. Like, don't focus on the negative, but like come back with 3 things that really like you noticed, and let's see if we have a way to fix it so that doesn't happen at your wedding.
Yeah, absolutely.
So once again, how do people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at LF Boudoir, Boudoir.
And should they contact you through there, or do they email you or call you? What's the best way?
DMs get buried very quickly. So I usually point people up to the bio link, or just go straight to my website, lfboudoir.com, and fill out the contact form there. And then I'll get back to you. Literally, I hate making people wait, so I'm pretty fast.
That's good, though.
That's a good thing. Okay, Sam.
My final departing tip is use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. They're a local Connecticut company, and we encourage you to shop locally. Clicking the link doesn't cost you anything, but your purchase will help compensate us and keep this podcast alive.
So remember that you can download us for free wherever you get your favorite podcast. If you also go to our Be Engaged and Inspired podcast page on anchor.fm and select message and leave a message, you might be part of our future podcast. Yeah. And also there's a cute little donate button.
That always helps.
That always helps too. We don't have to, but we do appreciate it. And we also do appreciate you guys bringing topics to us. So remember to download, subscribe. You'll get our podcast first. We're here every single Wednesday. And now I'm going to shoot it off to Ruby so she can thank our sponsors.
Thanks to our sponsors, EasyEventPlanning.com, Meadowbrook Estate, Emerge Cosmetics, Here to the Moon Travel, Destination Weddings Unlimited, Dollar Tree, Honey Fund, and the official new bride name change kit.
Now syndicated on the Wedding Talk channel on YouShook.com radio network, America's radio station.
All right then, so we'll see you next week.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast is sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. This podcast is produced and copyright by Atmosphere Productions in association with Engaged Connecticut.